Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. My name is Eddie Childs, and I'm the Director of Corporate Marketing here at Mediagistic. Today, we're going to be covering the basics of conventional search engine optimization, which is also called SEO. And we'll dive a little bit into how local SEO works as well. But before we begin, a little bit about us. Mediagistic is a one-stop marketing and advertising shop for home services businesses across the country. We have more than 20 years of experience in the home services marketing business. We've helped thousands of clients across the United States. We're a full service marketing and advertising firm, and we work with businesses of all sizes, from manufacturers to distributors to local contractors and everything in between. And as a Google Premier partner and a Meta preferred partner, we also have access to exclusive agency partner support for Google and Facebook. Now, diving right into it, what is search engine optimization? So basically, at the most basic level, search engine optimization is optimizing your website and business directory so that they show up as highly as possible in organic search engine results. And that's differentiated from paid search engine placements like pay-per-click ads or local services ads, where you pay to be listed at the top of search results. For the purposes of this overview, most, if not all, of the focus is going to be on Google, and rightly so, because that search engine accounts for more than 90% of all search queries worldwide. So what are the main benefits of search engine optimization? First and foremost, increased organic website traffic is a primary benefit of search engine optimization. You'll also see a lower reliance on paid channels. We wouldn't recommend cutting all paid activities, but you won't have to rely on them maybe as heavily in order to make sure that you're being served in search engine results. Greater visibility in search results and the local map pack. And then finally, search engine optimized website, having a search engine optimized website and web presence will result in more sales and revenue opportunities for your business. Okay, so when we talk about SEO, we're actually talking about three main disciplines of SEO, and those are on-page SEO, which is essentially the front-end optimization of your website. Most of these activities are visible to the user, and they include things like your content quality, keywords, keyword usage and research, HTML tags, image tags, metadata, internal links, and information architecture. Technical SEO is the back-end optimization of your website. So most of these things would not be visible to the user. They encompass the speed and security of your website, the user experience of your website, which technically is visible to the user, but the metrics that are used to measure it are not, canonical URLs, indexation, accessibility, and then schema and structured data. And finally, offsite SEO. So these are optimizations that are done away from your website. And they encompass things like backlinks, guest posting, business listings, and that has an asterisk because that's related to local SEO, and public relations. And of these, local SEO is almost its own discipline, but it technically counts as offsite SEO, and we're going to dig into that as well. Okay, so what is on-page SEO? On-page SEO relates mostly to the front-end optimization of your website, and we're specifically talking about content here. It includes low or no-code tactics, such as content marketing and copywriting, keyword and topic optimization, tagging, and metadata, and internal linking. And these items are generally visible to the user either directly on your website or on the search engine results page in the case of metadata. In recent years, Google has made a significant push to ensure websites are human readable rather than machine readable, and they provide maximum value to the user based on the user's search intent. So brands that have made an effort to create highly valuable content have reaped the benefits, while brands engaging in low value content creation tactics have seen their traffic fall off a cliff in recent years. To this end, there are two major concepts to understand when it comes to content quality. The first is called Google Eat. Content that really has a lot of quality in Google's eyes demonstrates expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. And those have long been in the quality raters guidelines for Google. They recently added a new attribute called experience as well. So content that is able to demonstrate that is written by someone with experience, expertise, authority, and trust is really likely to be ranked a lot higher in Google than content that doesn't have these attributes. And that leads directly into the next piece here, which is the helpful content update, and that's all part of Google's war on low quality content, which has been a work in progress over the years, going back to the days of the Google Panda filter, which rolled out in 2011, way back when Google used to do animal themed algorithm updates. And it was incorporated into the core algorithm in 2015 and has been evolving ever since. The actual helpful content update itself was first announced in August of 2022. It's mainly focused on rolling out scrape content, rooting out scrape content, duplicated content, low quality AI generated content, and content with little value to users that doesn't actually match their search intent. To that end, Google's quality rater guidelines say that brands should focus on creating helpful, reliable, people-first content rather than search engine first content. So this is what we mean when we say to make your content human readable rather than machine readable. Now, keyword optimization still matters, but it's not nearly as important as creating content that has these attributes we discussed on the previous slide. So content that has experience, expertise, authority, and trustworthiness, and that offers the most valuable information possible to the user for their search query. So SEOs and content creators who start with that in mind first are going to always win over content that's just created to serve search engines and algorithms. So keyword optimization is important, but really the landscape has changed so that you're no longer writing content to serve the keyword. You're creating keywords and optimizing keywords in a way that serves the content and ultimately enhances the value of that content, as opposed to the other way around. So that's a big change in terms of on-site and on-page SEO. Okay, so moving on. What is technical SEO? Technical SEO relates to the back-end optimization of your website. So it encompasses things like the speed, infrastructure, and user experience of your website. And really, technical SEO is all about making your website faster, easier for a search engine to crawl, and generally more understandable for a search engine. And these are really the main pillars of technical optimization. And then there's also measurable aspects of user experience called the Google Core Web Vitals that measure those technical kind of pieces that constitute what a good user experience are. And we'll dig into that here in a second as well. First, what does a site with good technical SEO foundation even look like? Well, first off, it's fast, and you can measure that with this tool right here, pagespeed.web.dev, and you can see how quickly Google at least thinks your website is serving. You really want your site to be fast overall. If it loads in under 4 seconds, then you're generally pretty good. That 3 to 4 second mark is actually the turning point where bounce rates go way up. People bounce off your website. And in fact, 40% of consumers will wait no more than 3 seconds before abandoning a website. So really, when you kind of get to that 4 second mark is where it really you start to see your bounce rates go down off a cliff. This can be optimized in a lot of ways. At Mediagistic, we use fast loading themes. We run a low number of plugins. We compress images. We use asynchronous loading, and we have best-in-class server technology called WP Engine to host our sites. And among other factors, this is what we do to ensure our sites are optimized, mainly from a technical SEO standpoint. They also should be easy to crawl. The website should have intuitive information architecture, and it shouldn't be blocked from search engines by like robots.txt, which is a pretty common mistake. And you want it to be mobile friendly and have a strong user experience. We'll dig into that in a minute, what that really means. And then other things that need to be considered include your JavaScript, your XML sitemaps, your site architecture, URL architecture, structured data, thin and duplicate content, your usage of hreflang and canonical tags, and then 404s and 301 redirects. So a technical SEO kind of mix is really overlaps a lot of the time with web development and what a webmaster would do. So these are all kind of pieces that would need to be optimized on your website in order to ensure it has a good technical SEO foundation. Okay, so moving on to Google page experience. So as recently as June 2021, Google pulled all of its kind of requirements for user experience together into an update called the Page Experience Update. So following that update, your website design and your SEO actually became one and the same as a business. So they're no longer two different things. The user experience is the SEO of your website. And to this end, Google incorporated a bunch of new explicit signals into the core algorithm to measure how good the experience of your website is. And these new metrics were collectively called the core web vitals, and they measure how quickly the content on your website loads, which is the one on the top, called the largest contentful paint, how long it takes before a user can actually interact with your website, which is the first input delay, and then how stable the layout of your website actually is, which is the cumulative layout shift. And really with that last one, if you've ever gone to like an e-commerce site and tried to check out while the buttons are all jumping around and you accidentally hit the wrong button and check out for the wrong thing or whatever, you'll know why that last one is important. So collectively, these are the core web vitals, and making sure those are optimized are a strong play to making sure you have a good user experience on your website. And then you want it to be seamless along with all these other aspects. So mobile friendliness, safe browsing, HTTPS, and then no obnoxious pop-ups on your website as well. And when you put all this together, you have all the major search signals for a strong page experience, according to Google in the Google Core Web Vitals. These can be measured in basically every free Google developer tool that exists. So you can talk to your webmaster, developer, web designer, SEO guy, or marketing agency if you want to know how your site is performing. Okay, moving on. What is off-page SEO? Off-page SEO encompasses optimizations that are done away from your website. So that includes backlinks, brand mentions, citations, reviews, and local SEO. Major among this are your backlinks and the backlink profile of your website. And this consists of inbound links to your website from other websites. So these are really natural links from authoritative and relevant websites, and they act as a vote of confidence. It helps Google and other search engines trust your website more. And backlinks to your website can be obtained through direct outreach, partnerships, good press. A good PR campaign can really help with this. And then other tactics like local relationship building, local sponsorships, etc. Beyond your backlink profile, and perhaps even more importantly for a local business in the home services industry, is your local map pack seen here and your Google business profile. The Google local map pack, hands down, is one of the most valuable places a local home services business can appear. And local businesses that can land in the top 3 results in the local map pack will see a significant increase in calls, booked appointments, and sales. So the first step to showing up here is really simple. It's just claiming and optimizing your Google business profile listing, formerly called Google My Business, and getting your business information correct, making sure that you're getting reviews, responding to reviews, and your name, address, phone number, and business categories are all correct as well. And there's kind of an art to this and making sure that you're really optimized in your Google business profile, but that's really step one. And then ultimately there's a lot more driving how Google understands and ultimately ranks businesses in this section of its search results as well. So we're going to dig into that. These are the local map pack ranking factors, and these are the 3 factors that ultimately drive who even shows up in those top 3 results in the Google local map pack. You can see here, you've got proximity, which is how close the search result is to the location specific keyword that the searcher is using. Prominence, which is how well known a business is, and it encompasses offline reputation. And then relevance, how well a Google business profile matches search intent. Of these, it's really only possible to affect the latter two because proximity is really kind of dependent on the searcher and the search terms and where they're at and kind of how close they are to the business and how close the business is to like the geo-specific search term they're using, etc. And that's kind of a moving target. But prominence, is something that can be affected, but it's really sort of a black box because Google doesn't disclose exactly how it understands a business's offline reputation. PR and media mentions do seem to move the needle on this. And then, other things like Google is able to understand whether someone has been in business for like 1 to 200 years. And even if they don't have like a, an optimized web presence of any kind, it can preference businesses that have been around, since like the 1800s or something like that, and still serve them in search results because it's able to understand that they have a lot of offline prominence and reputation as well. So hard to move the needle on that one as well. There are some tactics you can do to kind of affect that, but really from an SEO standpoint, what we're left with is relevance, which is why first and foremost, optimizing and claiming your Google business profile is so important. Having the right information, categories, reviews, again, all really important in increasing the relevance of your listing. But then you also have to optimize your business information across the web because Google looks at the consistency of that information everywhere on the internet to determine how trustworthy and relevant your brand actually is, which leads us to the local search ecosystem, which you can see is a really complicated looking web of websites and business directories and business information aggregators and all sorts of stuff that really feed into the Google algorithm. So it's a web of business directories that feed the Google local algorithm. It relies on accurate business information in all of these different places, particularly your name, your business's name, address, and phone number. And when we say name, address, and phone number, we're talking like even the spelling and formatting of your business's name. Google will trust a business a lot more if it's spelled and formatted exactly the same way in every single place on the web. And then finally, this affects relevance and helps to determine position in the Google local map pack. So tactics to enhance this can range from some pretty basic manual stuff, which would include reaching out to all these different business directories, probably, prioritizing the highest value ones and just getting in there and trying to optimize this information as much as you can. Using a citation building service like Bright Local or something to do that, or even using, business information aggregators and, other means like Yext and other tools, which are kind of the gold standard of business information management and optimization, to centralize that business information and ensure that it is distributed across the web in a way that is optimal and can feed into the Google local algorithm and ultimately put your Google business profile listing in the top 3 in the map pack. And it can really help make sure that that happens. So that's it. As a quick overview, these were the 3 main pillars of search engine optimization. Just as a quick recap: on-page SEO, technical SEO, and off-site SEO. And really a robust SEO strategy would encompass all of these things, and really use that to drive visibility and value for your business. And kind of as a final note, this isn't the prettiest slide, but over the years, the SEO landscape has changed a lot. And I wanted to just kind of make this clear to everybody. It's no longer the sort of be all end all marketing tactic that it was like 15 years ago. Google has introduced a lot of its own products into the most monetizable search engine results pages. As you can see here, from LSAs and paid search ads to featured snippets. People also ask boxes, knowledge panels, maps, and then even travel and shopping listings. And here you can see a pretty typical search engine results page listing called a SERP for a high value search term like window installation near me. And going left to right, this is kind of the order of the search engine results page. You can see that Google's various products have pushed the organic listing way down the page. So you can see here, these are local search ads. These are the paid search ads. This is that local map pack that we were discussing earlier. This is a people also ask box, which is just kind of like a general FAQ. And then all the way down here, we have the organic search engine listings that maybe contemporary and traditional SEO tactics would really help your website show up in. And even these are dominated by things like Thumbtack and Home Advisor and Houzz and the Better Business Bureau. But you can see that, Window World Tampa has managed to get itself ranked in there, which is probably worth a lot to them, and a few others. In other geos, you can see this more often. But what this really means is that the value of conventional, traditional SEO, and when I say that, I'm talking about these blue links here, it's changed as well. And as a discipline, it's really become about targeting search engine results pages that ultimately don't look like this. Creating content that answers long tail questions that people ask to Google queries, and then also that's optimized for voice search. So we'd really always advise that local businesses use a full funnel marketing strategy that does include organic search tactics like the one we've kind of described here, local SEO to get you in this map hack, and then ultimately paid lead gen activities and tactics like LSAs and ads to ensure that you're as visible as possible in search engine results, and that you're not just kind of leaning into one tactic in like organic SEO just because at least the kind of the perception of it is that it's free, or you don't have to pay for it. There's a lot of effort, and you really have to stay on top of these algorithm updates in order to ensure that you still show up in them. So that being said, thanks for watching this video. If you would like a complimentary digital marketing assessment, go to mediagistic.com to talk to an expert, and fill out the form there. One of our digital marketing experts would be more than happy to hop on a phone call with you and go over everything about your digital marketing presence, including your organic SEO, your local SEO, and your paid tactics, and we'll help to uncover and identify any kind of opportunities that may exist for your brand. Thank you.